Hey, this is gonna be my second, and I'll probably do a couple because I've been watching a few DVDs, DVD review. I still haven't posted the first one, so I'll post them all at the same time. Um, Having no idea, what will ever happen with them, but whatever. I'm enjoying watching these DVDs, and I've been going through them, and I figure this could be a fun thing. I'll probably be wearing for all these videos, the next few ones, this Canadians hat, Montreal Canadiens, even though they're having a really bad year. Gotta represent them. I got this actually at a game. I went with my buddy, and it was a Tuke night, I guess, and they gave me a hat. This was a few years ago, so it's pretty exciting. Anyway, I mean, if you like Tukes and the Canadians, which I like both. Okay, so here we go. So this week it is 9.5 weeks, or week. I mean, right now, 9.5 weeks. I don't know if you guys 9.5 weeks. There's Mickey Rourke and Kim Basinger. I mean, this is a bad movie. I mean, I remember it from high school. I don't think I ever watched it, but maybe I saw scenes. And I mean, it's kind of like I mean, it has no plot really. I mean, the movie is essentially plotless. It's about this romance that between Mickey Rourke and Kim Basinger, which is kind of sadistic, and it's kind of I feel like in here in Quebec we have we used to have these shows, these Bleu Nuit shows that on Saturday night, and like as a teenager, me and my friends would always watch them. They're these like kind of like slightly, usually French kind of movies that were had some nudity in them and some sex, basically kind of steamy, but they weren't pornos quite, but they were, on the edge of that. And I bet you this movie was on a Bleu Nuit at some point, because sometimes there would have American movies translated. And yeah, I mean, it's hard to say anything really good about this movie. I mean, really nothing really happens in it. I mean, it's kind of shocking. I don't know what they're thinking making this movie. It took me 3 nights. It took me three, like the movies that I don't like, you keep turning them off, and then the next night it's like, oh, it's still in the bloody machine. I'll have to finish it. But yeah, it took me 3 nights to get through this. And I mean, it's not a long movie. I guess it's 2 hours. It's pretty long. It felt long. I mean, it's 2 long hours. And I mean, there's some weird sex stuff. I mean, if you like that, I mean, but I mean, and Mickey Rourke, Kim Basinger, you know, Mickey Rourke, I think it's before his boxing career. So, I mean, he's a, you know, good looking guy, and Basinger's a good looking woman. And, but I mean, gosh, I mean, there's just nothing in this movie. I mean, really, I mean, it's like got this weird, kinky kind of like he's a banker and he's kind of like, uh, what's that? Whatever that the masochist thing or whatever. I don't know. Like it's like that kind of weird power sex stuff. But I mean, not in any kind of really interesting way. Like, it doesn't explore it. Like, why is it there? Or even kind of like there was that movie Secretary, that I thought was good. It was kind of fun. You got to really get into the characters, and it went more into it, more into the characters and the attraction behind it all. This was all kind of just like she didn't really seem that into his kind of weird controllingness, and but yet they had sex a bunch, and then they break up, and it's kind of like, well. So here we go. So what does Roger Ebert says? Fascinating, an erotic tension that is convincing, complicated, and sensual. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There is erotic tension. I mean, I'll give him that. And, I guess it's maybe, maybe it's got that, aiming for that kind of artsy, you know, uh, artsy, realistic kind of depressing thing, you know, which I tend not to like. So maybe that's why I thoroughly dislike this movie. But I mean, gosh. Anyway, you know, at least there's not much in my movie review, but it only is going to take 5 to 6 minutes. But this movie takes 2 hours to really, like, essentially, you know, you might as well, meaning just fast forward to the sex scenes because that's about all there is in this movie. So there you go. That's that DVD. Yeah. And yeah, gosh, 1986 apparently. Yeah, I mean, back then, I guess. Who knows? But anyway, it got made, and I remember as a kid in high school, you know, people really liked it. But you know, in high school, I think it's because of the sex, you know, because they got to see, you know, there is quite a lot of sex in it. So there it is. That's my 9.5 weeks review. I hope you guys are all doing well. Take care.